Okay, let's be honest. Staring at a blank Excel grid can feel, well, a little intimidating, right? It's just this huge sea of empty boxes and you're not sure where to start. But what if I told you that in the next 5 minutes, we're going to transform this blank slate into a powerful, organized plan? Let's do it. Let's turn that grid into a grand plan.
So here's our game plan. First, we'll cover the absolute basics. Then, we'll get you comfortable with worksheets and your data. I've even got a great pro tip for when you're tackling those huge spreadsheets. And then, we'll wrap it all up by recapping your brand new Excel toolkit.
All right, first up, getting started. Look, before we can build anything cool, we just need to know our way around. Think of this section as our welcome mat. It's all about making sense of the screen from the moment you open up Excel.
So the very first thing you'll see is the Start screen. This is basically your command center. Over on the left, you can jump right back into any recent files you were working on, and on the right, you can start fresh with a blank workbook or even get a head start with a template.
Now, a really crucial habit to get into right away is knowing how to save. Excel gives you options here. You can save to OneDrive, which lets you access your file from pretty much any device, or you can save it directly to this PC if you want to keep it local. It really just depends on your workflow.
And here it is, your main workspace. This is where all the magic happens. Up at the top, you've got the ribbon. That's where all your tools live. That little box shows you the address of whatever cell you've clicked on, and down at the bottom, you've got your worksheet tabs.
To make sense of all this, let's use an analogy. The entire Excel file you're working in is called a workbook. I want you to think of it like a digital 3-ring binder. It's the main container for your whole project.
So if the workbook is the binder, then worksheets, or a lot of people just call them sheets, are the individual pages inside that binder. This is how you organize different chunks of your project. You could have a budget on one sheet, a contact list on another, all inside the same file. It's really the key to keeping things clean and easy to understand.
And the most fundamental building block of every single sheet is the cell. It's just one of those little rectangular boxes where you'll type your text, your numbers, or your formulas. And every cell has its own unique address, like A1 or B2, based on its column and row.
Okay, so we know our way around the binder. Now, let's figure out how to organize the pages inside. It's time to really master your worksheets.
When your project grows and you need a new section, you're going to need a new sheet. All you do is head to the Home tab, find the Cells group, click Insert, and then choose Insert Sheet. And just like that, a fresh new page is added to your binder.
Sheets named Sheet 1 and Sheet 2, they're not very helpful, are they? Giving them clear, descriptive names is absolutely crucial for staying organized. And it's not just for you. It makes your work instantly understandable for anybody else who looks at it.
And Excel makes this super simple. You've got 2 easy options. You can right-click the tab and just choose Rename from the little menu that pops up. Or, and this is my personal favorite because it's so fast, just double-click directly on the Sheet tab. Type your new name, hit Enter, and you're done. And here you can see the result perfectly. Instead of some generic name, your tab is now clearly labeled, like Lab 1 right here. I mean, imagine having tabs for January budget, February budget, March budget. It makes jumping around your workbook so much faster.
So what if you set up a worksheet perfectly with all the right formatting and you need another one just like it? Well, you can create an exact duplicate. Just right-click the tab, select Move or Copy, and now this is the most important part. Make sure you check that Create a Copy box at the bottom.
All right, our binder is nice and organized. Now let's zoom in and focus on what actually goes on the pages themselves, shaping the data inside the grid.
This happens all the time. You've entered a bunch of data and then you realize, oh no, I forgot a row right in the middle. It's no problem at all. Just select the row below where you want the new one, go to the Insert menu, and choose Insert Sheet Rows. And boom, a clean blank row appears exactly where you need it.
Now, what about moving data around? You've got a few great options here. You can copy and paste with Control-C and Control-V, which leaves the original data right where it was. Or you can cut and paste with Control-X, which actually moves it. And a really intuitive way is to just select your cells, hover your mouse over the border until the cursor changes, and then just drag and drop the data to its new home. Easy.
Okay, so as your spreadsheets start to grow, they can get, well, a little hard to read. So let's talk about a quick but really powerful tip to keep even the biggest data sets totally manageable. Has this ever happened to you? You're scrolling down a huge list of data, and by the time you're on, say, row 200, you've completely forgotten if column F was sales, units, or customer ID. It is a super common frustration.
Well, the solution is this secret weapon called Freeze Panes. What it does is it locks your header rows or columns in place so that as you scroll, your labels always stay visible. You will never lose context for your data again. It's a game changer.
And turning it on is a total breeze. You just go to the View tab up on the ribbon, click the Freeze Panes button, and you'll get these simple options like Freeze Top Row or Freeze First Column. One click, and you're all set. Seriously, it's one of the most useful features for anyone working with a lot of data.
And just like that, we've actually covered a ton of ground. So let's do a quick recap of all the new skills you've just added to your Excel toolkit.
I mean, just think about what you can do now. You can create and manage a whole workbook. You can organize it with clearly named sheets, and you can shape your data with total ease. Plus, you have that pro tip of using freeze panes to tackle those big data sets. You've built a fantastic foundation.
So, you went from a blank grid to having a solid plan of action. The only question left is, with all these new skills right at your fingertips, what are you going to organize first? What project, what list, what idea is about to get a whole lot clearer?